What's up, what's up, my friends? Welcome. Get ready. Grab a snack and a bevy. It's time for you and I to have a chit-chat. Straight up facts. Tell it like it is. Laugh till you pee your pants. Cry because you probably needed to. And I can't promise, and I'm not going to throw any F-bombs, but I can promise you'll feel a lot better after listening. It's time to get personal, one-on-one, down and dirty, and have a coffee talk. Buckle up. Let's go. Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome to a coffee talk. I'm actually having juice right now, so there's that. It's early, so I'm doing my pineapple, green apple, wheatgrass, and celery. It's very good, actually. And the apple's like super tart. And then the sweetness of the pineapple. Yummy. Little update straight off the bat about the first day of school. First week went spectacular. He's totally got this down pat. He had a great first day. I could tell by when he got out of the car, his face was lit up. He got in before he even closed the door. He was like, I had a fantastic day. I have 4 friends. I don't remember their names. And I'm like, welcome to mommy's world. So I told him, I said, it would be nice if you just ask your friends' names. And if you need to, write them down in your notebook. That helps, you know. And so he got buddies the first day we walked in because we had a chapel, like reception service and prayer service for the students in the school and the parents and the teachers and all that. It was very nice. I walked him downstairs, did a swap out with his shoes because apparently, so the gym shoes I sent were new shoes, but he had, they have the fake laces and you slip them on. I read the instructions wrong for gym shoes. They're lace up shoes, which, yeah, that's a lace up shoe, but it's not a tie. You don't tie them. No slip-ons. And that's probably, you know, risk management background here. That's probably for safety reasons, so their feet don't slide out of your shoes. But they could also have those lace-up shoes if they had Velcro. So you could slip them in, but have a Velcro strap to kind of grab your foot in there. And we do have a pair of those at home. So I was like, sweet, you hardly have ever worn these. We'll just swap them out, you know? And you didn't need new shoes. He just wanted new shoes. So I bought new shoes. But now he can wear his new shoes. So he said he's kind of excited about that. So now he gets to wear his new shoes anyway. Just in and out to school. There you go. I walked him downstairs. He did all that. He got hooked up with his buddies from the teacher. And I'm like, you're looking at her like, what do I do? She's like, just go upstairs and wait in, you know, the community room in the lobby until we'll all file in the classrooms to the chapel. And then you guys follow us, anything that's available. They had like reserved sections for the classroom. I wound up finding a mom of another new student in 3rd grade that I had met at the park meetup that the teacher made. So that was nice. We were chit-chatting, found a few other moms. I actually, before I found the moms, I was up there, and a gentleman sat next to me. Turns out he's also a homeschooler. One of his kids did 7th grade, part-time because they have a program for homeschoolers at this, academy or school, Christian school, I should say. So yeah, that was nice. And his kid liked it so much that he has to go 8th grade there. So they're like, that's fine. We homeschool our daughter and our son is here. And I'm like, that's awesome. Turns out later, he's one of the pastors blessing us. I'm like, oh, I don't know his name either. He told me, but I don't remember. There's that. The apple doesn't fall far from this tree. Mama and son. So I wound up sitting next to my mama friend and we didn't intentionally do it, but apparently we kind of sat like to the side over and looking forward, like kind of at our kids' class. And I was in awe at how well Peter sat through this service. It was only like 35 minutes long. There was some worship music that was done by like the teens, the high school worship club, which was awesome. Piano, guitar, and 3 singers, right? And two girls and a boy who apparently is also the student council president. got a big cheer from the crowd and the parents. So there's that. And it was really nice. And then our dean talked, who is also now head of our chapel department. And then we got to hear from the principal of all the school. And then there's also a principal of the elementary school. And then we got basically blessed by like 7 different pastors from the surrounding area churches. And I thought that's really cool. Peter sat like a champ through this whole thing. He worshiped, he sang a little, he sat down, he didn't fidget. There were kids fidgeting. It wasn't him. Let me tell you, that made me so proud, which was part of it. It basically erased all of the anxiety I had prior to this day. Prior to that day, I was so anxious about like just how this is going to work, going from homeschool into a school setting, and it erased everything. And I'm like, I feel so good about it. But then I got the crying jags all day because as a homeschool mom, I mean, it might happen to new moms as well, a portion of this, but specifically homeschool moms who are putting their kids back into the school system, whether it be public, private, academy, it doesn't matter, right? I knew that you're always struggling with, I'm very structured in my teaching. We went to co-ops that were structured in their teaching. And so, but you always struggle on whether or not where he adds up to his peers, where he's summing up there. Okay. And so last February, we actually had Dr. Peterson, our tutor and homeschool teacher, like for 3 years now, 4 years, and almost 4 years. And she administered she's a PhD. So she has the ability to administer, and I'm sure other people do, but she could do it. She administered the Iowa Basic Skills and the COGAT testings. And I've talked about this in the past. I was real worried. I'm not going to lie, because I'm not a teacher. I'm structured, but Peter and I learn in 2 different methods. So in order for me to homeschool him, I had to change my comfort zone on how I learn to do it like he learns, which was uncomfortable for me. And that's just how it works. Like, if you want to be a teacher, would I do that full time and get paid? Absolutely not. I would be a nerve. I'd be a bundle of nerves. I'd be a mess. But it was my kid. So that's different, right? And so he tested above state, above national, and actually above our school. So that we're actually in. So academically, I did that. Me and Mr. Sith, we did that. It's on us. We gave him those skills. We gave him those scholarly skills. But then to be so mature as to be able to walk in and not be cry-jaggy and sit in church. Now, mind you, we go to church on Sunday, but he goes to the kids section. They don't sit through worship, any chit-chat. It's just not. It's the same amount of time, but they're doing games. They're learning their stuff. They're watching little movies. They're doing, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little more geared towards children. So it's a different environment. So the fact that he was so sitting so nicely and paying attention, I did that. Like, we did that. We gave him skills for his education and his scholarly mind. We equipped him with confidence and the ability to, go in and be confident and worship God. We gave him the ability to, just do life. And that is so overwhelmingly makes myself happy that it's ridiculous. I mean, we all want those things for our kids, but when you homeschool, you get a lot of flack, you get a lot of flack about, they don't get socialized. They don't, my kid is super social. And then people are like, oh, you homeschool? And I'm like, yeah, because I don't know what they expect. This little nerdy kid who sits in the corner and doesn't know how to talk to people, because nobody I know in homeschool does that. So it's just some weird you know, picture that people have of homeschoolers. Might that have existed at one time? Probably. Does it exist today? Probably. It just wasn't in the circle of homeschoolers that I was in. So I felt really good about that. He had a great first day. He had a great first week, and he's super excited about it. I love that. I love seeing that he loves school, because in all honesty, I did. I loved school. I love learning, even today. So I'm super excited. And I did tell him that he needed to find out what his friends' names were so I can look it up on the parents list. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to know. What else is going on? Oh, okay. So on the first day that Pete went to school back on Wednesday, I came home and, fed the dogs, let them out, did all that kind of stuff. And then my niece and I wound up going to have coffee at this. I got a gift card from Dr. Peterson for doing a baby shower with her. We want a wedding shower. I'm sorry. I helped her with a wedding shower, food wise and planning and stuff like that. And she did a majority of the work, but I just helped kind of take some of the food off her hands. And because I enjoy doing that. And for a wedding shower that she did. And she gave me a little thank you card. And one of it was for this local place that I've never been to. And it's so strange because I go to the restaurant next door to it all the time. I've just never looked at what store or business is next to the restaurant I go. How crazy is that? Anyway, so it's called the Ambrosia Euro Cafe, Euro American Cafe. And I thought, oh gosh, yeah, hello, I'm all about that. Euro Cafe? I'm in. Duh. So I told Natalia, I said, hey, let's go check out this cafe. I got a gift card, which is funny. I wound up not even using the gift card because I just wanted to taste stuff. And then I can go back and use the gift card. I had to feel it out a little bit. So I go and, everything looks amazeballs. The cakes. And Natalia said the flavors of the cakes that were listed on the board next to them were like, oh my God. So I wound up getting an orange honey latte. It was spectacular. Natalia did a cold brew, but then she mixed up the cold brew cream that was on it, the cold cream, whatever on top, with a little cinnamon and a little sugar because she's, 20. So hello. And added cinnamon to the top of it. And it was delicious as well. But we wound up getting chocolate croissants. They were unbelievable. They were out of this world. They were astronomical. Mind blowing. You could just taste the butter in these, and not too much chocolate. I hate when you bite into a chocolate croissant and there's chocolate all over. It should not be like that. It's too much. We do that in America. Too much. Don't ruin it. It was delicious. And then we ordered a little blueberry pastry. It was wonderful. It was so rich that we just got one of those. So we each got a chocolate croissant because we didn't want to share that with our coffees. And then we had this little blueberry pastry that we were going to split. We couldn't even finish it because it was so rich, delicious, but rich. There was maybe a quarter left. And I'm like, I can't do it. She's like, neither can I. I'm like, all right. So, but I will tell you that we had such a wonderful conversation, my niece and I. It was amazing to have this conversation with her, to give her a space where she could talk, not judged. I'm able to give her advice because she's asking and being like, listen, this is just my advice based on my life experiences. You might do something different based on your life experiences, but this is what I've learned, right? And why I would say that versus doing that, and it was such a just heartwarming conversation we had. it was a great time. I'm glad we got to spend that time together. And I hope now that, she's here and she knows that, I'm coming from a judge-free zone and that, we can just talk about whatever. I'm all in. Like, I thought it was wonderful. I've never had that kind of conversation with my niece before. So it was very heartwarming for me to have that. Peter had riding on Wednesday after the first day of school. I will tell you straight up, we had an hour between the time we got home after school and had to leave for riding, get to the riding center. And we read, so he got his reading out. He had a snack, and then we wound up heading over to the riding center. We met Mr. Sith always meets us there because he gets off early and he likes to watch him ride. But it was awesome. It was a really, really, really nice instruction. He fell asleep in the car on the way there. He was like, Mommy, I'm going to put my sunglasses on and just like close my eyes for a second. And he was totally snoring, like mouth open, flat out snoring. And then as soon as I pulled up and put the car in park at the riding center, he got up and he was like, put his sunglasses aside and he goes, okay, I'm probably going to do that on the way home. But then turns out Dr. Peterson wound up meeting us at the riding center to, see how his first day went. And she brought me some things for his teacher. And so I got some things. And then, so she was like, and then he wanted to see her chickens. She had baby chicks. So she had baby chicks that were supposed to be hens, like egg layers. But then now she's saying it turns out that they were probably mislabeled and they're not hen layers, they're fryers. And then of course we get there and they're all white. And I'm like, you bought eaten chickens. I'm like, oh goodness. But they're crazy still nonetheless. They're so much bigger. So he enjoyed seeing them all. And, as they got bigger since he saw them when they were tiny little chicks. And so we stopped there and then we wound up just going out to eat on Wednesday. Wednesday's going to be a long day with riding. He says that those times are okay for him still. He didn't mind it. And so I'm like, cool. So until we continue riding until winter, I guess, then, till the cold sets in, and we take our break. We'll continue on Wednesday, and then that day we'll go to dinner on the way home from riding, versus me, because then it'll be way too late to eat for me. And then I'll just cook on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, there you go. Boom, boom. And then our weekends. Usually we like do stuff or we make special stuff. So we don't use the meal kit. I love Green Chef right now, only because they're organic and I'm really enjoying like the meals that they're sending. I really like them. I'm looking at my list here. Like, what do we do? Can I tell you guys how much joy I get in planning vacations? I am obsessed. And here's the thing. My husband and everybody has basically said at this point, you do know how to plan a good trip. And I am going to do everything in my power to make sure that I enjoy it as well. Now, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I loved our trip to Europe. Okay. But I still am learning and really working on when I'm having the flares and I go into the pain episodes because, you're walking 15 to 18,000 steps a day. My body just can't handle that. And if it's hot with sun, whoo, that's even worse, right? Because then you're going to exacerbate the flare even more. So sometimes I'm just miserable. And so Mr. Sith will ask me something like, well, where should we go with this? And I'm just like, I can't even think. I'm like literally in my head, just being like, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this. And he's asking me questions on what to do. And I'm like, I just planned a whole fucking vacation. You can't figure that out? Like, I can't do this right now. And I'll get snappy. So I have been working literally since that European vacation in 2022. 2023. 22 was Myrtle Beach, North Carolina. So 2023, I've been working all year and I will continue to work on it until next year when we leave in June to learn how to, I'm going to get into better shape. I've been trying to I'm doing chair yoga. I'm doing more steps per day, the Peloton, and I'm breaking it all up. And then I'm interspersing it with days of just like some weights, light weights, just because I'm going to be 55. So hello, I need to start working on that. But I thoroughly enjoy the planning of these vacations. So I mentioned it on last Wednesday's episode, but I don't know if some people just listen to coffee talk. So, hey, fuck, whatever. We have committed to going to Milan, Italy. So we'll be flying from Chicago to Milan. I think we have a stopover. I'm not sure where, because we haven't done it. There's like 2 different stopovers. I don't book airfare until like probably February. I know this sounds weird, but it works for us. I monitor the airfare. So I will see how much it costs, and then I write it all down and which flights I want. And then I watch and I wait. And I keep checking at regular intervals. And I watch the fluctuations so that come the new year, boom, I could just get the tickets because I'll know what the lowest cost is based on the trends. It works. And I have saved thousands and thousands of dollars this way. I literally paid half of what the initial quotes were on our airfare to Europe last year when I purchased them. So it makes sense. I also only use, in case you don't know this, never look for airfare unless you're using an incognito screen. If you don't know how to do that, like just Google it and then you'll figure out how to do it on your laptop. But also, Mr. Sith is going to get me an IP address that's not for America because sometimes it will also give you lower fares. I'm not even shitting you. That's ridiculous, but it's true. So we are flying from Chicago to Milan, Italy. And then from Milan, we're going to take a train to Parma, from Parma to Bologna, Bologna to Florence, and then Florence to Rome, where we'll fly home from Rome to Chicago. I am thoroughly excited about this trip because it's kind of like a gastro trip, meaning we're going to eat a lot, which is fine because we're going to be walking a lot. Totally okay with that. So it looks like apartments are going quick this time. They didn't go this quick for our last trip. So I was like, oh, but we're all in Italy this time too. So I mean, in all, in defense of the system, we did go to like Austria and Slovakia prior and Italy. So now we're just doing all Italy. So I feel like I've had to be a little more strategic in my apartment hunting. We got an awesome apartment in Milan. It is a penthouse. The penthouse is split in 2. So there's like A and B. We are right in the middle of everything I need to be in. Everything is walkable within 15 minutes. Bonus points. We have a host that will arrange travel pickup and to and from anywhere we need to go. And I'm like, that's awesome because now you got trusted drivers, right? Tons of local. To me, I like to be close enough to all of the tourism, but in the local neighborhoods. Does that make sense? And then I have figured out all the restaurants I want to go to, what we're going to do. And so now I can sit down and buy all of the tickets for everything and make the reservations for the restaurants. If you think you cannot make a reservation at a restaurant abroad in August of 24 for June of 25, you are sadly mistaken because you absolutely can. It's just so much easier. And reservations are kind of a must have in Europe. If you're eating after 6 o'clock, you got to have a reservation, period. Because you want to get in, you don't want to wait. And if it's a restaurant you really want to eat in, you want to make sure that you got a chair because it's not like eating in America. They don't like float you in and you're on a timetable because you are. When they seat you at a restaurant in America, you officially are on a timetable. From the moment they bring you to your table and they hand you a menu, you're on a clock, which is why they come, drop off a check, and take off. They don't do that in Europe. You come in, you eat. I swear to God, I think they're like set out in increments of 3 to 4 hours. Because as long as you are sitting at that table, they will never, ever, 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 ever bring you a check. You have to ask for it. 100%. I love it. It's fabulous because you can actually fucking digest your food. Just saying. And you can enjoy it and have courses, and it's just a wonderful experience. I'm just saying. I think everybody needs to go to Europe and do that, especially Italy. Like, yum. So I've been doing that. So this penthouse in Milan overlooks, so outside of the bedrooms, it's sort of like I'm trying to figure out like what it is. It's sort of like a sunroom roof. Does that make sense? It is all windows, and there are like blinds that they have like a covering thing that you could slide if it's too bright, but it's all windows. So when you're standing in the living area, the kitchen, the living, you know what I'm talking about. I don't even know the dining, that part. You can look out the windows and see an unobstructed view of Milan, the Duomo, the cool buildings. It's pretty cool. I'm excited. Yes, I will be filming stuff and putting it all. I don't know anything about YouTube anymore. I'm confused. I don't know what to do with YouTube. So I'll figure that out. Maybe we'll figure that out now that I have all this extra time. And then in Parma, we found a place super local, also in a neighborhood, walkable to everything. That is a big house. It's a big apartment, I should say. But man, is a lot of room for the price, but it's Parma. It wasn't my first choice, but my first choice got booked. So this was like my backup. I usually have like 3 or 4 backups just in case. So now we're like talking with the owner in Parma and seeing like letting her know that we would need, transportation from here to there based as we go in steps. I feel like as I do the cities step by step and get all the tickets and figure out where we're going and make all the reservations, then you're like done. Then you're there and I have like a book, composition notebook. I write it all down per city, all of that stuff. Mr. Sith will take care of all of the train transportation. I never have to worry about that because I'll do trains. I'll read the signs. I've started my Italian again so I can keep that going. And it's just been, I love planning it. And so I'm hoping that by making all the reservations, buying tickets to the museums and the art displays and the churches or whatever, that now it'll be more purposeful when we're there. We're there on this many days and we're doing this day, that day, this day. No time limits unless we have tickets to like a museum or something. Like when you go see in Milan, we're going to have tickets to see the Last Supper painting at the Santa Maria delle Grazie, but they do them in increments of 15 to 20 minutes. They've been experimenting because they don't want too many people in the room at once. Usually it's 25 people. They expanded it to 30. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if they're going to continue that by the time we go, but it's a test that they started doing this year. They tried to decrease the amount of people that go in there and in certain amount of times so that the room is not, they could preserve basically the art. And then like we'll know when we need to be places and when we can just chill. And I think that'll be easier just on my body overall. That's pretty much it. Oh God. One last study. Oh my God, 28 minutes. One last funny story. So Peter and I am obsessed with the car wash. My car must always be clean. It's always clean. I never have stuff in it. You'll never find an empty cup. If it is, it's because Mr. Sith borrowed it and didn't empty it. And then I freak out when I get in my car and there's an empty cup in there. True story. We went to the car wash. So I have a membership to the car wash because every time I drive by it, which is sometimes 2-3 times a day, I just drive my car through the car wash. I don't care. My paint job is fine. Everything else is fine. I love it. Sometimes when I'm alone and Pete's not in the car, I get out, I get my microfiber cloths, I wipe it all off, make sure it's nice and dry because the blowers aren't always spectacular. But you know what I'm saying? I just love it. Everybody's been through a car wash. I would say almost everybody. You've heard of a car wash. I pull up to the car wash, and of course I just get buzzed in because I have they put a little sticker on your car and gate just opens because you're a member. So I pull around and there's a car, and the guy it's always the same two guys, right? He's standing there and he's at the window. She has the window down. I know that because he's like reaching in and like showing her something, right? And I'm thinking, okay, is it a kid? Is it a young driver and they don't know where their neutral is? I mean, because in case you don't know, you pull up onto a track. I'll never understand the people who hit the track and their whole wheel comes over. You just line it up, pull up onto it. Slowly, he'll wave you forward until he gets you to where you line up with the automatic puller on the floor. Like, I'm trying to think of it, like track. And then he'll hold the hand up. You put it in neutral. You take your feet off the gas pedals and the brake and your driver, the wheel, and you just chill and go through the car wash. Not a big deal. Oh my gosh. There was a woman in front of me, and I know it was a woman because I could see in the rear view mirror. Okay. She didn't have a tinted window, but she had an SUV, and I'm telling you, I think she was literally just born because he kept trying to, first off, all you kept seeing was brake light, brake, not brakes, putting it into park, not in park, not in park, driving forward. And he's just like, whoa, oh, wait, just do. And I'm like, you can't just drive through it, honey. There's a track. So Peter's like just giggling now. He's just like, what is wrong? And I'm like, maybe it's her first time. But I mean, if you are being instructed, here's me. There's a sign as well with little light up. Like it's actually like animated. Put it in neutral, take your hands off the steering wheel and take your feet off the brake and the gas and just chill. I mean, it doesn't say chill, but it says sit back, relax, and get clean or something like that. And plus the guy tells you, like, I don't roll down my window. I know how to go through. I just wave at him and he's like, hey, what's up, Denise? You know? And so we're going through and I'm like, I'm not pulling up. I am not pulling up onto this track until this woman figures out what's going on. She ain't backing up into me. I've seen crazier shit happen, people. It was literally, I'm not even joking, 5 to 7 minutes. And she's still going back and forth with him, reversed, forward, bent, and parked, not parked. And I'm thinking, if you don't know what the fuck neutral is on your car, how the hell did you get your fucking driver's license? What is going on right now? Do you have a driver's license? This is not, I was scared as shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want to drive behind that. So I said, I literally made a conscious decision because normally they wave you in like every 3 markers on the track. So that by the time the person in front of you, it looks super close. Like, oh, I hit him. No, you're not. You're like 3 feet away. And then as soon as the little green light goes, they put it in drive. They pull up. By that time, you're coming into the vicinity. You're fine. But I'm like, there's no way that I'm pulling up behind this woman. Nope, not doing it. I will sit here and just tell him, sorry, I'm going to wait until she gets out. Mind you, there's like 9 cars behind me now. Okay. They can't even get through the gate anymore. And he decides, he's literally telling her, like, he's reaching into the car and trying to tell her basically to put it in fucking neutral. So you can, and at this point she did, he stepped away and I'm seeing the brake lights again. And I'm like, get your fucking foot off the brake. Like, what is, my God, wash your car by hand. Wash your car by hand. This is not okay. I was like, first off, that's dangerous. That is dangerous. That stuff this is a Simonez wash. This stuff is expensive in there. And this woman's going to just decide to like put it in drive and start driving through it. You can't do that. It's timed. The machines are timed. You're going to like mess up your car, mess up the machines. And then what does that mean? It means that I can't get my damn car washed. Okay. I'm playing, sort of. But so this is what he did. He told her to leave the car in neutral. And then he waved her to let go. And he walked through the car. There's a catwalk, mind you, but still, he walked through the car wash with her. And I know for a fact she pressed her fucking brakes numerous times because I could see her lights go on. And he walked her all the way, bless his heart, until she drove the fuck out. And then he walked back and was like, he looked exasperated. I was dying. And then I pull up and he's like moving me up, but you could tell that he's like exasperated by this. Like he's just mind blown that this just happened. And so I pulled up and I always thank him when he says stop. I'll say thank you. And then I put my car in neutral and I put my hands up and lifted my knees up and I'm like, I'm good. And he just laughed. I was like, what is going on? Who does that? That is so worrisome that this woman was driving around and she couldn't get through. Like, how the fuck does she park? How the fuck does she park? And let me tell you, I know what kind of car she has, the make and model, the color, and her license plate. Because if she's local and she's parked next to me somewhere, I'm not fucking parking there. I'm going to be honest. It was scary to me. This person had no business driving. If you don't know where neutral is. I'm just saying. I mean, you can't make this shit up, people. You can't make it up. I'm at a loss. That's so funny because one more thing. So we took, it's like what's happening to society as a whole. It's like in total decline. But let me tell you, we went, last minute story. We went and got, Natalia needed an eye exam and some, she has insurance and we went and took her to get her eye exam. And so she gets her eye exam, whatever. And, you know, it's their first time doing stuff as a young adult. So I went with her and blah, blah, blah. When she went in for all her tests and stuff, Peter and I went shopping. And then we came back in to like, you know, catch her at the end, help her pick out her glasses and all that. Cause she needed glasses. She knew that she can't see shit, bless her heart. And so I'm like, well, it's going to be much better because we want to take her for her license. But I'm like, you can't even fucking see. How are you going to get a license? And she's like, yeah, I know. I need to get my glasses first. And I get the DMV form for that. I'm like, okay, yeah, good call. So she was, one of the ladies who originally registered her, she's just like, I'm going on lunch. And I'm like, okay. And then I don't like when clearly she handed us over to the three gentlemen that were out in the lobby part. And one of them was already working with a client, a patient and her kids. And then there were two other ones. And when you hand over paperwork, but you're still talking about personal shit while I'm waiting, yeah, that's no fucking K. So I was like, yeah, hey, can you guys wrap up this conversation at another time? I said, because I'm like at a timeline today with a bunch of stuff. And they were like, oh, yeah, okay. And I'm like, really? Like, you thought you were going to sit here and have a personal fucking conversation for 15 minutes when you could be serving me? Like, come on. Like, just service us, get us the hell out of here, and wrap it up so we can fucking leave. And then you guys can talk all you want because you'll be alone in the store. What the fuck? So then one of them is like, yeah, I'm going to go to lunch. And then proceeds to tell them if they need anything to call him. So I guess he's the manager, right? So he leaves and then suddenly the guy we have knows how to do fucking nothing. He called him like 3 times. I'm not even joking. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Well, really? What are you doing? And then he says, the gentleman who's helping us wrap up the glasses and do all that and put, he goes, I'm I'm so sorry that my manager left. And I got to keep calling him. I go, I actually think what the real thing is this has nothing to do with your manager per se, but I think it's kind of sad that you need your manager here in order to process somebody. And he just like looked at me and I'm like, I mean, are you new? Because that would be like not okay. And we were talking nice. We were having a great conversation. And he was like, no, I'm not. I mean, when you put it that way, I'm like, I mean, he's entitled to eat. Like, fuck, when I was a manager, I didn't sit at my fucking desk all day so I could tell everybody how to do their jobs and then not go to lunch so I could tell you how to do your job and you've been here for 4 years. That's a no. And I just thought, shit. And he totally was okay. And he's like, well, I probably should know this. Okay. Probably not an awesome way to have a conversation with customers. just no knowledge or a whereabout of just how it was inappropriate conversation at all. Basically, our conversation skirted around and he agreed and talked about how he had inadequate skills for the job he's had for 4 years and can't do it without his manager. Like, okay, sure. Anyway, that's 40 minutes today, so I'm out of here, guys. You have an amazing weekend, and until next Wednesday, lead with kindness. Bye.